Alone in the Woods. Creepy true Alone in the Woods horror story. I never used to believe the stories. You know, the ones about the woods swallowing people whole, the ones whispered at campfires to scare kids. I thought they were just tales. Until last fall. It was supposed to be a solo camping trip. I needed a break from everything, the city noise, work stress, the endless buzzing of my phone. Just me, the crisp autumn air, and the quiet. I picked a spot deep in the woods of northern Maine, far from any trails or other campers. Total isolation. Exactly what I wanted. The first day was peaceful. I hiked, set up my tent by a narrow stream, and watched the sun drip molten gold through the trees. As darkness fell, the forest came alive with the sounds of crickets and distant owl calls. I felt calm for the first time in months. But sometime after midnight, I woke up suddenly. There was a sound outside the tent. Not the soft rustle of small animals, or the whisper of wind through the leaves. No, this was heavier. Deliberate. Footsteps. I held my breath, straining to listen. They were slow, steady, circling the tent. Probably a deer, I told myself, trying to stay calm. But deep down, I knew better. Deer don't move like that. And deer don't breathe heavily. I stayed still for what felt like hours until the sounds faded into the night. I must have fallen asleep eventually, but when I woke at dawn, I found footprints in the soft dirt outside, big ones. Too big for any animal out there. Barefoot. Human. Still, I convinced myself it was nothing. Maybe a lost hiker. I packed up and moved deeper into the woods, just to be safe. By evening, I found a new spot, a clearing surrounded by towering pines. I set up camp again, but the unease lingered. That night, I made a fire and sat close to it, the shadows pressing in at the edges. As I roasted a can of beans, I caught movement just out of the corner of my eye, something low to the ground, darting between the trees. I whipped my flashlight toward it, but saw nothing. I told myself again it was nothing. The mind plays tricks when you're alone. But as I zipped myself into the tent later, I noticed something chilling. On the outside of the tent, smeared across the fabric at waist height, were handprints. Filthy, greasy handprints. Long fingers. Nails that looked almost clawed. I didn't sleep that night. I sat up, clutching the small hatchet I had brought, heart hammering against my ribs. Every little noise outside seemed amplified, twigs snapping, leaves rustling, distant whispers. Actual whispers. Around 3 a.m., I heard the zipper of the tent slowly start to move. Zip. Only an inch. Then another. I leapt up and shouted, slashing at the entrance with my hatchet. There was a guttural, inhuman growl and the sound of something large crashing through the underbrush. I didn't wait until morning. I packed my gear in a blind panic, flashlight bobbing wildly as I sprinted through the woods, branches tearing at my clothes and face. I didn't stop until I reached the dirt road where my truck was parked. I drove away without looking back, knowing, that something watched me from the tree line the entire time. I never went camping alone again. A few weeks later, back in the city, I was scrolling through local news articles when a headline caught my eye. Authorities investigating strange disappearances near Black Hollow Forest. Several hikers had gone missing in the exact area I'd camped. Search parties found their abandoned gear, torn and scattered, but no trace of the people themselves. Just footprints. And handprints. And deep claw marks in the trees. The forest had swallowed them whole. Just like in the stories.